I consider my first real job that I went out to get was selling appliances at Sears in Washington Square Mall in Evansville. I was in high school and I wanted to make money. So I went into the appliance department and applied for a job. And it probably still one of my favorite jobs I've had. The reason I say that is you earned commission. So you sold I sold vacuums, laundry, dishwasher dryers, dishwashing machines, etc. And you make, you sell a $300 vacuum, you make 18%, or 15%. And I was clearing decent money selling appliances, and I was easily the youngest person. Average age was probably 60, 65 people selling there. But it was a blast. I could go get lunch at the mall with, these older, salespeople, and they'd be, complaining, corporate Sears isn't changing this and that. And I'd be like, man, you guys got to stop complaining. Like, I got some customers coming in. We're going to be selling some stuff, It was amazing. We had the thing, you swipe the card, to make the imprint on it. And that was easily my favorite job just because it rewarded you for working hard. And, you learned how to sell. You had to approach people. It's an in-person sale, obviously. And so it was a lot of fun.
How did you, for those, everyone usually has a job, it might be in a restaurant or, something like that's fantastic. But that first customer facing job, I always find it's very formative for people. Like lessons that you learn, whether you're 16 or 25, when you have that first job where it's customer facing, I find that those lessons just stick for decades. So what can you think back even on that job? What are some things that just stuck with you?
Man, that's a good question. And I think nowadays too, like with Zoom and everything else, it's, and I'm somewhat introverted. I'm not on the extroverted side. I'm an INTJ for those that pay attention to the Myers-Briggs stuff. But I think being forced to engage with people in person, it eventually kind of it helps you realize how to connect with people, right? Whether they're coming in to complain about something they bought from you a week ago, or hey, earlier that month, I sold them something. Now it's on there's an additional sale, so they would have saved a little bit more money. And it forces you to like, oh man, I do not want to talk to this person. Like, and here they come, Now we can kind of hide, right? I could turn off the camera and we could just have a call, right? And I can hide from you. But when it's customer facing, and you're right there, and it's a lot more, it exposes you, right? It's like the tide rolls back and there you are. How are you going to handle the situation? And for me, I think it taught me a lot about how to just appreciate people and selling to a consumer. I'm here to buy, I want this feature, that feature. Do you have it? Show me what you've got versus, and then you get the other person. It's like, all right, well, I'm going to complain with you now because what you sold me, is right here. It's showing it's $100 off. What were you screwing me or something? And understanding and listening to that customer in person, understanding body language and some of those things, and not being able to just run away. I think as much as I like to admit, it's nice, not being forced into something. Sometimes being pushed into an environment that is outside your comfort zone helps you learn. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for me is that here I signed up for a job and I didn't realize, how aggressive it could be on a sales floor. It's like you got these sales guys, going around trying to get the next prospect, and it's literally like fighting and shoving to get the next prospect. And it puts you out of your comfort zone, in that environment.
I think there's also an advantage, in that you worked for Sears and not, a small, tool and die store on the corner where the owner is going to cave. When you work for a big company, rules are rules, right? Guidelines are guidelines. A warranty is a warranty. You're not getting a lot of exceptions. So it kind of forces you to grow up and tell a customer, sorry, that there's a 30-day policy on that. And Sears isn't just going to make some exception every single time someone comes in. So you kind of are forced to deal with legitimate drawbacks, right? Rather than, let 100%. Me talk to the owner, I'll see what I can do. It kind of forces you to stand your ground and have a conversation and take whatever you got to take.
Exactly. And this would have been in the mid